Hi everybody and welcome to Yo Pops, the podcast here with me and my father.
Of course.
Hey, Dad.
There you go.
We have been looking forward to bringing you this new piece of product and content that we've been working for a little while, and I finally, after lots and lots of people reaching out and being like, you need to do more of your dad, you need to do more with your dad. Here, I'm doing more with my dad. So we hope that you enjoy this next little moment with us, and also stay on the journey with us as we continue to build the concept and the project together. So, Dad, morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Look at this wonderful sun.
Yes.
That has finally decided to descend upon us.
It really makes my day.
I woke up very happy this morning.
That's nice.
I would say so.
Yes.
Everybody should wake up happy, no?
I would agree with it, but some people can't be happy.
This feels like a very deep statement. Go on, give it to me. Why can't some people be happy, Dad?
Yeah. Because they're always anticipating what hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's good. Some people can never be happy because they're always anticipating what hasn't happened yet. I love that. So then how would you undo that? Even though that's not what we're going to talk about, but I feel like you've just given such a major key. I can't let that go. How would you undo that, Dad?
And of course, you have to deal with what is present. Deal with the moment.
Don't just say that and then just be like, come on, open. You got to deal with what's present, deal with the moment, give it a bit more.
Of course, most people have got so much going on, but never take time to appreciate it. They are looking to what hasn't yet come. That's what sort of trigger these things such as anxiety and stress, the difference between the stress factor and the anxiety and all of that. So that's what you have in the mix. So if one learn to work with what they have, the now, then they will find a lot of reasons to be happy.
Can I put the cherry on your cake?
You're welcome to.
Take time to make time.
If
you do that, it will set everything in balance and allow you to see the way you should see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now, Dad, I'm very excited about today's episode. The reason being, you got a voice note from me this morning.
And
huh?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I was just like, what did you say? And you would have heard what today's topic was going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is someone else also in the room with us who stays a little non-visual, but he's always here.
Right.
We'll call him Happy J. Okay. Now, obviously, your baby son was here in the country.
Okay.
You're saying it like you didn't know Wallace was here. Jan, that okay sounded like he didn't know his own son was here, right? He was staying in his house.
I think the problem is that because I've not seen
I don't know if that's for the camera, Dad. I don't know if that's for the wider public.
I think he would agree with me.
I'm not getting involved. Yeah. Wally, I didn't say nothing. Indeed. I didn't say that. I was trying to move along. Ships in the night, brother. So, Pop, we were at his friend's wedding this weekend, which was amazing. Also, I'm not going to embarrass him. I sent Jamal a message to which Jamal responded to me. And it is to do with Jamal's wonderful partner, who I keep telling him needs to become his fiance.
I wonder why Jamal looks so nervous.
Dad, look at him.
What is he going to
his
say?
His whole face is just like, no.
Exactly.
So Jamal was making fun of me because basically we were talking. He saw a couple of videos Wallace put up of me singing.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, if you sound like that, then you can come and sing at my wedding.
Right.
And then he turned around in the voice and he goes, you've been trying to instigate this wedding for the last 2 years anyway. So I sat there and I thought to myself, now, Scotty's just got married. Even though Jamal would never say it and I'm not going to pin it to him. I know, Dad, Anna is so lovely. And when you see them together, it's what you speak of a lot, which is like the balance and the dynamic of two people that really love each other, but also understand the space one another needs. And so this morning I wanted to talk a little bit about marriage. I have 3, I guess, key questions that I wanted to ask you. And hopefully throughout the process of the time we have, we will get through all of them. If we don't worry, guys. We'll be back next week to finish this. But what I love about what I'm going to speak about is, Dad, you represent a generation in time. I represent a certain generation in time. And I do think that my generation, often at our own detriment, we sometimes don't lean into information that's there because maybe some of our ability to listen is also caught up in our desire to not listen because we have a lot of information. And obviously knowing, your time in church ministry, and the reason I refer to that is because I've watched you counsel everyone. That your job as a minister of the gospel, you talk to believers, non-believers, people of different faiths, different religions, people of different social standings. I've seen you do it all. And so because of that and your success rate in speaking with people and helping people lay the right foundations for this amazing transition in their life, I wanted to break it open a little bit, Dad.
Right.
So the first thing I wanted to ask you is that in its root foundation, Dad, what is the fundamental institution of marriage? What's it meant for?
I think as you give such a wonderful introduction.
I did.
Yes. I
did.
I won't pay you for that, but yeah, because it's true. No, so anyhow, now there are two sides to that question.
Okay.
One is what you call it, the biblical religious side, and then you have what is called it society legal side, and that must be clear. Otherwise, you could potentially seems to get into trouble if you advocate one and disregard
the other,
the law regarding the other. So basically, then, therefore, marriage is a union between individuals, and of course, this is determined by society, culture, religion, and generally where people may find themselves. So therefore, that is how it is. So the law stipulates this institution a certain way now compared to previous years. And therefore, one within the law do what the law authorized them to do.
Yeah.
Now, from a biblical religious point of view, again, it is the union between man and woman. So that is what the institution is. Now, it is very important because marriage as an institution is not merely dealing with individual. It is a type of relationship between God and its children and humanity.
Wow.
You see, that is where it gets so much more deeper in the reality. So therefore, as the union with these two individuals that in principle are different from each other, so God is showing what his divine purpose is, and it is manifested. His divine spiritual purpose is manifested in the natural relationship between a man and a woman. So anything else is, in fact, would not fall in the concept of God's idea of marriage. You know what I mean? So while you can appreciate the law and the rights the law and society gives to individuals, there is that original intention, and that's what marriage really is about.
What I love about what you said there, Dad, is that you qualified the basis of the institution through the reasoning of its inception, which is that in the fundamental biblical sense, God is merely trying to reflect in the natural earth the divine intention and love that he shares for his creation.
Yeah.
And Dad, and I know a lot of what you think, how you speak, and to have seen it conceptually that clearly. Because what that then does is, it's like a person, it's almost like you get to see the gift the person is going to buy for you and their intention, reason behind it. Because there's a couple of gifts I've bought sometimes when I've been like, I just need to get a gift and get it to this person. And there's other times when I've been super excited. And just in how you explain that, it's almost like I feel heaven's excitement at when it's a reflection of what was intended.
Indeed.
From the beginning. That was amazing. So then that would lead me on to the next question I'd want to ask, which is, so then how does a person choose and what should they be looking for? Both ways. Man that's looking for the perfect partner in his wife, and a woman who's looking for the perfect partner in her husband.
I think one of the things that would become immediately apparent is what one would call compatibility.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, that's
Break
one
that
of
down
the,
for me.
yes, so that's one of the first things. You have to make sure that the person who you're going to get involved with shares certain fundamental values. Yes, I mean, and that the goals that one is aiming to achieve, and also to make sure that they have mutual love and respect for each other and has the capacity to meet each other at the various level of development. So one has to see that that is one of the reasons why in most cases you have a period that they call the engagement period.
Right.
And that is to ascertain whether this individual is compatible. And a lot of people think of compatibility merely from a physiological standpoint.
Yes.
Compatibility. Yes, very much. So compatibility in this context is soul, spirit, and environment. Of course, your body will tell you also if there is that compatibility as well.
So then, on a soul level, what does that look like, Dad?
Friendship, the ability to have a strong friendship, strong relationship with each other, sharing, as I said, mutual understanding of things, and we got respect amongst each other, in that you will always agree to disagree if need be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it does not impede or it does not impact the love you feel for each other.
Dad, can I ask a question? Why is friendship so important within the relationship of marriage?
Yeah, because friendship transcends the emotional, and physiological and environmental state of an individual. Yeah. See, it's a spirit thing. Really, it is. So
say that one more time. So
it transcends the physical, in fact, even the emotional, as well as the environmental environment in which a person finds themselves. Why? Because there are times in any given relationship where you're sick, you may have an accident, you don't feel that you look the way you are, feel the way you used to do, and so on. But when love is also based on friendship as a key pillars in the relationship, it doesn't matter what you go through. It doesn't matter what happened to you. Like a good friend, they will always be there for you.
Yeah. You said something at the end of that first initial statement where you said that friendship is a spirit thing.
It is a spirit thing, yes.
Now, I've heard you say love is a spirit thing. I've never heard you say friendship is a spirit thing, even though, as I'm saying it, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Because to friends that you have that are close, you love them.
It is born out of love. Friendship is born out of love.
So what is it, Dad, about the dynamic of friendship within the relationship what is the superpower that brings to the dynamic?
What the friendship brings?
Within the love.
Yes, because friendship gives one the freedom of expression.
Do you know how deep what you just said is? Friendship is freedom. You hear that, Jamal? No, sorry, Dad. I didn't want it. That just really punched me in the solar plexus. Friendship is freedom. Please keep going.
Yes.
It's good.
So that's what it does. It gives one the freedom to be. That's what it does.
Dad, as you'll know, because you're my dad, I was thinking about getting married once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most heartbreaking part, there was a period of not speaking. You don't have to apologize for coughing. Just don't choke. No, I love when my dad's being super serious and then I'll do something that's kind of annoying and he'll look at me to be like, I thought we're trying to be serious. It's just like, yeah, there was a period of non-communication. And Dad, I was sitting at home. Why are you touching stuff? I done set the stage. I'm about to tell you what's going on, and this guy's here. Go on, get the black flask. Get the black Hawk down flasking, Jam. This is what I have to deal with this guy, people. This is why the podcast has taken so long to come out, because he doesn't listen. But yeah, we've gone through a period of not speaking, and Dad, I had this moment where I was going over things that had happened. Mm-hmm. And the reality was, I understood some of the stuff that happened, because when you're hurt, and you really love something or you love someone, reason isn't the uppermost voice in what I call the debate. Mm-hmm. Emotion and other things take over. But I remember I had a moment where I sat and I realized we weren't friends. Mm. Yeah. And it was the hardest thing to accept, and probably the most painful thing to discover. Mm. Because it had always been, in terms of communication, always been, well, no matter what happens, we'll always be able to have an honest conversation, and we'll be able to say this, and caring about a person's person beyond what how it affects you. And that was the hardest thing. And the thing that annoyed me is that for a person that thinks as deeply as I do, Dad, I was racking my brain over a 10-year period of, how did I not know this?
Yes.
How did I not see that this fundamental cornerstone, that it's like a building that has no corner. And you're like, wait there, a building can't stand on 3 corners. Why is the 4th in suspension? Mm. And it was hard to deal with and accept. But after I was able to get over that initial shock of and anger, I guess, of it, I then wanted to sit and ask, okay, then for people, say, maybe listening. Yeah. And I think to myself, okay, if I don't have that to the level that I think we should have it, how would you develop that, Dad?
Yeah. Again, it sort of falls within that trust, is trusting each other, spending the relevant amount of time together, not in just one thing, but in everything.
Open that up, Dad, because I think a lot of people might miss the genius of what you just said.
You see, as an example, when companies want their employees to gel, they would send them on these adventure courses. So therefore, they have to work, collaborate with each other, because each other's life could depend on it. And within a given relationship, that is the thing that you also will you'll need to do to cultivate that friendship, and understanding where the individual is at and where they're coming from. See what I mean? And don't let them feel that because they may not be where you're at or where you're coming from, then that makes them either inferior or, lacking something fundamentally important. You see what I mean? So when a person can feel freedom with you around, it generates that kind of friendship. And of course, you cannot miss communication.
How then do you keep, if communication is a pipe how do you make sure that, oh, I love this. I like my own concept that I'm about to give you. If communication is a pipe and we're constantly sticking unwanted vegetable from the plate down the drain,
Yeah.
how do we keep making sure that the pipe stays unblocked, Dad?
Okay.
Did that make sense, what I just said?
Yes, I'm going to ask you if friendship is a pipe.
Yeah.
Yes. And you are sticking vegetables down there all the time.
Not on purpose, though.
Yeah.
It just comes like the loose ones come off the plate
Yeah.
when you're washing it.
That's right. And sometimes you intentionally put it down there as well.
That's actually true. Yeah, I get it.
Because you can be bothered to go to the bin. Okay. So if
Yes.
that is the case, how do you go about making sure it is unblocked?
You got to put bleach down there, and you got to
So you put some bleach. And how would you associate that bleach, that plunger with lives?
So is love the bleach and the plunger?
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, but I'm working it out. But you obviously know the answer.
But you told me that you had the concept sorted.
Yeah, and I had the concept and gave it to you, and it was ready. You're the one that started asking me questions about the pipe. So I would say, so let's make sure I answered what your question was.
Yes.
If love is the pipe,
of course, yeah,
and there's stuff down it, you said,
and you're putting stuff down there, yes.
Yeah. Then I've either got a one
intentionally and unintentionally.
Yes. Then when it's unintentionally, I need to go in there with the plunger or bleach solution of love. Mm-hmm. And when it's intentionally, I got to stick my hand in the pipe and get it out.
Absolutely. So therefore, what does that tell you about developing that friendship?
That my love has to be able to absorb what I don't understand. And my intention has to be clear enough so I don't create unnecessary blockages based on what I don't feel either comfortable or confident enough to say.
Indeed. So in the same
feel free to say that was a textbook answer.
We give him 7 out of 10. You don't know.
John, don't listen to this man. It's a harsh example, brother. That was an 8.5/9, bro. Sorry.
So it's in like manner. What you put into that relationship, is going to bring clarity, or you're going to clog things up. See, that is the real essence of it. So when you look at, say, friendship as a relationship, it never intentionally want to do anything to hurt the next person. Something can happen accidentally, but that love of friendship can overlook, deal with, and understand that this person, what might have happened is not this person. It is, in fact, something that may have happened accidentally. And so that's why communication is such an integral part of any given relationship if you're going to maintain friendship. Because what you feel, what you experience, what you know, you must therefore be able to communicate it in an honest, sincere way.
That's the word, isn't it, Dad? Honest and sincere. Because when you're honest, you're open. And when you're sincere, you carry no malice within your intent.
Yeah.
When you're honest, you're open. And when you're sincere, you carry no malice within your intent. That leads me on really nicely to, you've done really well. I didn't think you'd be able to say this so concisely.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of thought this would be maybe a couple of hours.
Of course. We can't blame people for having
misconceptions.
Misconception. So that's what friendship does. It overlooks.
Oh, now you want to be friends? See this guy was rinsing me to the camera, Jam, about 2, 3, 4 minutes ago. Now he wants to be friends. Okay. No, you're brilliant. The last kind of section I wanted to lean us into, and guys, please, questions that you may have, go to my dad's profile, not mine. Okay, go to his. We'll add all of that stuff. We'll add his socials and stuff. So please interact. and ask him lots of questions, and he'll be doing some spin-off stuff for this as well. Dad, 3 fundamental cornerstones, or 4, however many you want to look at. 4 fundamental cornerstones within the foundation of the successful foundation of marriage. What would you say they are? Number 1.
Number 1, I would say trust.
Talk me. Let's open that trust thing up.
Yeah. That is the first thing. That is the liberator. That is the key to going into the building. Oh, listen. See, everyone need to feel that they're trusted and know that they're trusted. And every person they're going to trust somebody need to communicate that to them, that I trust you. And that trust would reflect itself in how you deal with them under every circumstances. You know what I mean? There's some people who allow something like insecurity to derail trust.
Question: why does insecurity derail trust, Dad?
Because of where people are coming from. I mean, people's background oftentimes has a lot of major impact on how people carry their lives and deal with others around them. So if they're coming from a background where they're never trusted, and nobody think that they're what they say or who they say they are, then they oftentimes carries it as baggages into relationship. So therefore, you got to work on the basis of trust. 1, you got to have a healthy relationship. I mean, with each other.
What does that look like, Dad?
Now, again, you have to have a situation where you can, and I know we keep bringing up the word communication.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, you see, you have to communicate actively. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not just when it's necessary.
Oh,
you see me.
Communicate actively, not when it's just necessary. Yeah,
you see, and a lot of people do that. They only communicate when they think they must, and have to. But if you look at the dynamics, and one of the real live experience of this is mother and children.
Right.
See, you notice a mother, they're never tired of answering the same question over and over and over again that their children ask them. And unfortunately for a lot of men, 2 or 3 times the most. And, keep asking it, we're going to come back. Let him know, don't ask it again. But with a mother, no. They will, and that is what this really is about, is the fact that you communicate, you're sharing, and you're never tired of hearing and sharing with each other.
What you just said, we were talking about this last week, and you said to me, you're like, Sean, the practical example of something has always been a more powerful tutor than the spoken instruction of a thing.
Indeed.
And I think the reason it hit me is because, Dad, when I asked the person to marry me, I know I wanted to get married. I didn't know how to get there, but didn't feel confident enough in admitting what I didn't know.
That's right. Yeah. Because oftentimes people want to impress their partner and don't realize that it's not a good and better. You see, if you're good together. Oh. If you're better, you're better together. And if you're best together.
If you're good together. If you're
better, you're better together.
And if
you're best, you're. We understand what's happening to him, isn't it? They call it digest. He's digesting. To me.
If you're
when you hear it next time, there'll be no mention.
There'll be no copyright, no publishing, no royalties paid. Oh, Dad. Oh my gosh. Do you know what? For the sake of everybody at home, I mean, I've been tolerating this man for some 30 odd years. And if I know I need a little post-dinner nap, in terms of Dad, you've given so many amazing keys and tools that I just like for everybody to digest. And then we'll come in next week and we'll come right in and pick up from where we are. But I think it's the most beautiful thing to even just to reiterate and say to everybody that in this space, if you're good together. If you're better together.
Yeah.
And if you're best, you're best together.
Because it's a work in progress. You see, that's what the whole marriage concept is. It's a work in progress.
Dad, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I love you.
Love
Guys,
you
I hope you enjoyed. As you will be able to see, Dad's socials are there on the screen. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be live on YouTube. We'll be live on iTunes, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we're going to be bringing you so much more content. We'll be back next week for the second half of this episode.
Married, yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to call it Let's Get Married. That's what we're going to call it. We should have that jagged edge going out here, Jam.
I think he's speaking at you, know. I think he's sort of targeting, you know.
But Dad, thank you once again for your time. Jam, big love always. Guys, we'll see you same time next week.
Stay blessed.
Bye.
Yeah.